Yeah. So what happened earlier this week? You're talking about you had to go to Starbucks or something. What was going on, man?
Starbucks. I wish I drank coffee. It'd probably keep me up better. Nah, man. My dang internet was giving me some troubles, man. So, that was what's up. I think God didn't want me to do another podcast, so he said, you know what? Boom! Internet God said, no, you can't have nothing else.
Who do you have?
I'm with Optimum Online Cablevision out here in
okay. Oh man, that's right. That old James Dolan.
Yeah.
Own all that, man. Yeah. So how you been, man? How you been?
Good, brother. I'm happy to be on with you, man. Thank you for the invite to come on, man. Appreciate it.
No problem. The pleasure is all mine, my friend. Ever since been hearing you on the show, I'm toasting on what up, son, and when I mentioned LA, I said I gotta have this man on this show. It'll probably be the podcast with the two biggest Negroes in the country on the podcast.
That's what you should call this one. Two biggest Negroes on the podcast.
Two biggest Negroes in the podcast.
That's hilarious, man. But thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. The honor is all mine. So tell me, what's been going on this week, man?
Train foolishness, of course, man. New York is never, a lack of foolishness going on, especially on that train system. No real stories going on, but just more people in the way. But people don't understand what New York is about and the hustle and bustle of it all.
Please tell the audience what New York's all about.
Yeah, when you're, especially if you're in the city, the suburbs is a different thing. You can take your time in the suburb. You could drive. You could wait at a stoplight. When it turns green. You keep on honky West quick. But in the city, I like to call the New York City like a public urinal. People come in, they do their business. No, they come in, they do their business, and they leave. And sometimes they don't even flush. They just go in and get the hell out. And everybody's about where they have to go. Where they have to go is more important than any place that you have to go. So, so you have people walking their own pace, especially the tourists. They're looking up in the sky and walking, and they're walking towards you without even paying attention. You're just trying to get to where you got to go. Yeah. And, it's just different mentalities in one big area.
Let me ask you about something about that. So I'm here in Houston, in the South, all about Southern hospitality. Things go a bit slower. So could you maybe explain why it's so hustle and bustle, just always moving, straight up to the point, just sometimes rude up north? Because I see it's up north and it's different down south or maybe out west. Why do you think it's like that?
You know what? Because it's it's hate to be cliche, but New York is it's a melting pot, right? So you have all these different cultures and all these different people with different mentalities, different beliefs, and then different ways of doing things in one area. So and it's hard to try to get all these different ways of doing things to coexist. For people that live in New York, okay, you stay to the right, when you go down the stairs or if you're walking the street. So people to the left, can walk down. You know what I mean? But you get from other countries or just don't know, they're walking up right on the right side, walking up right in front of you, and you got to move to the left, and then it's causing a jam where everything is moving smoothly. You know what I mean? So you get people like that. So it's just a bunch of different, different ways of doing things coming together and trying to coexist. So you get kind of
a lot of British tourists while you're down there.
Yeah, everybody. Those guys, man, they'll work.
We're on the right this time, nigga.
Exactly. They got their maps full out. Looking in the sky. So they have their map out, but they're looking in the sky. I'm like, man, you reading the map wrong, bro. You're supposed to look at the map to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. With that, I want to welcome everyone to the What If Podcast. I am honored this week to be joined by the man behind the curtain himself, the great and powerful Oz. Say what up to the world, man.
Snap. What's good, folks and jokes? Your boy OZ from the NYC. Sharing with your boy Hugo on the What If Podcast. This is what's up.
Yeah, man. Tell everyone about yourself and what you do and what you're all about, man.
Oh, man. For those who don't know, and you probably don't, my name is Oz. I live in New York. I recently started doing a podcast with a friend, my good buddy of mine, Corey Coleman, on doubletoasted.com. He corralled me into doing that with him. And, just having fun doing that. I'm a father, got 3 kids, loving life so far, You know what I mean? And that's pretty much it, man. You know, I've been this podcast thing is still relatively new to me. I didn't think I'd be doing this type of thing at all. But you know, Corey got me into.
Every time I think of Oz and his kids, I'm thinking like a sitcom. Some kind of sitcom, just Oz coming to the room. It's kind of a weird situation.
Nah, man, it's funny because I always equate parenting to remembering when you were those ages and understanding if something went wrong. I know why it went wrong and why you're doing what you're doing because I remember doing almost the exact same thing. So for me, I'm a little more understanding when they get in trouble when they do something foolish because I remember doing that. As opposed to my parents who were, they came from down in Trinidad and Tobago, so they were first, I'm a first generation American where they were straight from the Caribbean, so for some reason they don't remember being 8 through 18 for some reason.
Yeah, because anytime they messed up, they blacked out because they got their ass kicked.
Exactly. But
I'm first generation Nigerian. I know all about that.
Oh yeah, they got the scars of growing up, literally. Yeah. But it's cool though, man. As I have kids nowadays, they are way more lax than I've ever seen them as far as just being understanding with them. So everything comes in full circle, right? So now it's this time for them. They're chilling and enjoying life with the kids, and trying to do things with them that stuff I was begging for them to try to do with us, but now it's like no big deal for them. But it's cool, man. It's cool.
True. And then some of the lessons that your parents taught you, you knew that like, damn, I hated that when I was a kid, but I know why they did it now. So you try to do it too, but try to put your own spin on it and all that. So
yeah, that's always the case. Some of those things always come back. Like I hated this, but you know what? I got to do it, and it makes sense. So, it is what it is. Are you plan to be in this situation at some point? You go.
And I am not gonna say no because you never say never.
All right.
But like as of right now, I'm trying to get my life together, kind of thing. And because my thing is that parenthood is a huge, monumental responsibility.
It is.
You have a life and maybe several lives
in
your possession for at least the next 20 years.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, if not longer. And that's not something to be taken lightly. I see some parents around, they have their kids. They're not the best parents, or they're just kind of lackadaisical. I don't know if they're tired. I don't know if they don't care. I don't know. But it's one of those things where like, this is your number one responsibility. Like when you were just by yourself, you were worried about you and some other things. But now you are automatically secondary. Like everything is them, and then after that, it's everything else.
It's funny that you said that.
I feel that.
You're absolutely right. I always equate having kids and having even your wife. As I look at it as the burning building scenario. You're outside, you run inside, what do? You grab the youngest. You run back inside, grab the middle guy. You run back inside, grab the oldest. You run back inside, grab your wife. You're gonna get burnt, but as more people as you add into your circle, the further down the ladder you become, and you always have to go into that house to get that extra person. You just have to.
And that's a huge thing. And then sometimes I see like. You see how half of couples in the U.S. now get divorced, and you see some of these kids going from house to house and things like that. And I'm not saying that I would get married, get divorced, have kids, but I would never want to put myself in a situation like that because I wouldn't feel bad for me. I'd feel horrible for the person I broke up with or the kid that has to go between houses. I just feel horrible about that kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's something I like. It's a huge responsibility. It's something you have to think hugely to get into, kind of thing. And sometimes you just look around and you just see wow, how are these people parents? And it's honestly, sometimes I think man, there should honestly be a parenting test, and if you don't pass, you take your kid until you can pass. They'll be in a holding pattern, did you pass? All right, here's your kid back, and you have to renew it every 6 months or something. I don't know.
Give everybody eggs and make sure that they don't break them. Right, that old school elementary thing. But now you're just as good as the parent, your companion that you pick to be the mother as well. You're just as good. So if you have somebody that's willing to see the same views that you have and have the same morals and stuff that you like to instill upon somebody, that's when you make that decision. And also, when you get married and if you have kids, you have to really understand that your life is over, and not in a bad way.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to it's
really different.
It's done. It's not different. It's done. Whatever they need to get done, you have to make sure it gets done or compromise to get it done. So whatever you think you need is going to become secondary. You have to want to do that.
Yeah.
You can't be forced to do it. You know what I mean? So.
No, I absolutely agree with you, and that's why it's a huge step in decision.
Oh yeah.
Something like that. So it's not something I would ever take lightly at all, man. So yeah. So you being in New York,
Yes,
I know
sir.
Oz. You a huge sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've been hearing about the whole how NBA free agency hasn't even started yet. That's not till Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
The shit's already getting hot.
Oh yeah.
So I want to hear from you
Mm-hmm.
what you think. My hometown Houston Rockets. What do you think about what they did?
Oh, the old CP3 thing. I hate you, man.
CP3.
I mean, just to backtrack, the whole NBA thing, I haven't been following as much as I used to, only because the demographic, the whole thing has changed to how people play, how defenses ran, even though some of the rules have changed to try to make the game something completely different. With old Michael Jordan, he had that commercial talking about, maybe I broke the game, and he's absolutely right. Because ever since he left, everybody's been looking for the next Michael Jordan.
True.
And because of that, you get these kids. And before, you used to actually have to try out for these AAU teams and all these specialty teams that you had to try out for. Now, you're just these kids just being put in, and they're being told from a young age, listen, you're going to the NBA. Hey, listen, you're going to the NBA. And they grow up as kids together in these different youth leagues. And by the time they make it to college or high school or whatever, they all know each other. They're all friends.
Yeah.
Because they're all going to the same place together. There's no need for competition because we're all going to make it.
Yeah.
And that's why you have all these friendships and not so much rivalries. And, LeBron's with the super teams and he's friends with everybody in the league and they're all just trying to make their money together. I mean, personally, I don't have a problem with that because, again, I related to, if you were playing 5-on-5, and you came in and you called next and your team, the team with your friends just lost, but they had some other guys on the side who are better than your friends, who are you going to pick? You're always going to roll with your people. You're always going to roll with your friends and try to beat everybody. So him going someplace else, it kind of makes sense in that aspect of how I see it. But we'll go back to your question as far as CP3, everybody's trying to make the super team to beat the Warriors now or to beat Cleveland. Yeah. So it's not so much a move to try to make them. I guess they will definitely want to try to make themselves better, but at the same time they're going to bend over backwards to try to make themselves better. So they got rid of 3 dudes to get him.
They got rid. I think they got rid. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I think they got rid of 4 dudes, and they got rid of 4 dudes. A first-round pick. Let's see, they got rid of Patrick Beverly.
Mm-hmm.
Montrezl Harrell, and he was thrown in later. Like, the deal was announced, and the money didn't work. They're like, "Oh, here, take Montrezl."
I found some lint in my pocket. Here,
exactly.
Take him.
Yeah.
I mean, teams
Sam Decker, and then they were like, and there was still cash. They had to make it even, so they were like buying contracts from like these third bench players from like Atlanta and Cleveland and Philadelphia just to make the money work. Yeah,
you see, these teams are selling their souls just for next year. They're not thinking for the long term. You know what I mean? And that's always been the Knicks' problem. They always try to think of the right now. And
I like segue, man. Your Knicks, man. I mean, woo! It's been a rough week. It's been a rough, I guess, decade and a half, right?
It's been too long. I don't know why they got this fool in the first place, man. We're talking about Phil Jackson. They finally gave this
Zen Master, man. The Zen Master.
Please,
he didn't bring Zen to New York.
Please, he brought foolishness. He's gonna be a foolish 5. For what he did for this past decade and change, you know what I mean? The Knicks finally gave him his Timberland boot to get the hell up out of here, man.
Man, I don't. So what was going on down? What's going on over there?
Well,
man? It's the New York basketball mecca.
Hey, it was supposed to be, but their thinking was if Phil Jackson comes there, he brings a sort of prestige to basketball. Being with Michael Jordan, getting them rings, putting the the touted triangle offense into play, and having that work so well for everybody, different teams. He didn't realize that that offense only works if you have the right players doing it. And the Knicks were hoping that he would bring talent just by having him there. But he's not coaching. He's up in in the offices there. He's not down there. Even when he did come down and try to use some of his power over the coach was like, F you, when they got fired. So they never really figured out what to do with that whole thing. And like I said, they would get old players who were past their prime but still had a name. You know what I mean? And that's why I like to call the Knicks the retiring home of the NBA, man. Because if you were good at one point, they will give you money and you could suck all the way on the Knicks, man. And then you take your money and leave because they have so many washed up players on that team over the past couple of years. It's like, oh, jeez, man.
Well, you don't think they could have done something with Porzingis, and I know Melo's kind of a head case, but with those two, you don't think they could at least make the playoffs in the East? I mean,
I don't know. I don't think that's enough.
It's not. It's not. But dude, something better than like winning 30 games a season, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks aren't going to be any type of a contender for many years to come, man. I don't even know if it's going to be in my laptop. Tell you the truth.
Damn.
Tell you the truth.
Man, it's
because
you just they unhopeful.
Yo, very much so. They gave up. Do they still owe a bunch of number one draft picks to people because they were giving those away for everything? Hey, you can have one too. Hey, take that. Hey, have a first round draft pick on us. We'll take this old veteran player off your hands. I'm like, what?
With this big old contract.
Yeah, we'll give a max contract to these old players, man. I'm like, get out of here, doing? Oh man. Say, man, I hate to go be the old man in the room, but the '90s, man, those late '80s, '90s.
Oh yeah.
That
my Rockets know about those '90s Knicks.
Oh yeah. Back then, it was actually you could actually have a conversation about which teams were better, which player was better. You know, I knew everybody from the starting five to the bench to the head coaches, the cheerleaders, everybody. I knew everybody back then.
You got that Jeff Van Gundy dead stare.
Oh yeah. Even my man, what's his name? My sister always called him Pierre Cardin. What's his name?
Oh man, I don't
not Pat Riley, the one before him. Rick Pitino.
Yeah.
He's
too busy getting in trouble in college, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, that's another podcast in this.
I was actually hearing that Calipari wanted to be like president of the Knicks. They were talking to him.
Yeah.
John Calipari from Kentucky, or Memphis. I don't know where he is, right? He's in college somewhere, but they're talking about bringing him in to replace Phil.
Listen, at this point, you could run up in there and make be a better president than this kid.
I guess, but like the Knicks are like the Raiders in that when they're good, the league is better.
Right.
You know? So it's kind of like, man, you just want the Knicks, man.
You know, that used to be the case, but they've been so bad so long, they're not even in that conversation anymore, I don't think.
Man.
They're not even in that conversation, you know. It's, you know, the biggest thing that was in New York for a while was the N1 basketball tour.
hey, Ice Cube's trying to bring that back. Can you hear about that 3-on-3 league he started?
Yes, yes. I have that DVR. I haven't checked it out yet, but I heard, you know, like I said, they got the has-been players playing. I want to watch it, and they were smart. They made it happen.
I heard they sold like 20,000 seats or tickets or something like that on that Sunday night game. So I mean, I don't know. It could be a thing. It could be.
Could be. I want to see, you know, because after this, because you know they got a good amount of players that people still know, you know. Yeah. But once this crop ages out, who are they gonna have? You know what I mean?
Well, man, did they have the N1 league? Is that league still around? Or no.
Well, you know what? I haven't heard from that in a while. But Ice Cube is called the Big Three.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, keep a lookout, man. Like I said on the What Up Son podcast last Monday, man. I went out to try and play, and I realized the magic has left me a long time ago, bro.
Are you saying all your powers are that basketball like the Monsters?
Exactly. That's what I told Corey. I said the Monsters came and sucked all my energy out, man. I am a husk.
Oh man, at least you maybe play a nice game of horse. That'll be more your speed.
Shoot, man. Yeah, I think even that'll be terrible. You know what I mean? Like I said in the thing, it's like, yo, when the person that I would pick on my team that I thought was, you know, the pity case, when the pity case is the best player on the team that I'm playing on right now, I gotta just stop. I gotta stop playing.
Yeah.
Don't say
go ahead. You could at least still beat your kids, right?
I don't even know anymore. The performance I had that last time, I don't even know anymore.
When your kid beats you, that's when you have the press conference of like, I'm gonna hang it up right now. Is when your kid beats you.
Yeah, my My jersey.
So beat your kid, you're good.
Yeah, my jersey's in the rafters collecting dust again, so I'm good. let's leave it there. I'm going to set that thing on fire. I don't want to even relive that ever again.
Man, that's cold. That's cold-blooded, man. Cold-blooded. Ah, man. Well, with all that being said, and, you playing basketball, your Knicks doing such a great of a job, and everything talking about that, this week I wanted to talk about something I brought to you that I thought you'd really be interested in. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I was just sitting in my car and I thought about things I could think about, things like that, and it just popped to me. And it's kind of one of those where it's kind of obvious, but I didn't really know how to approach it.
Okay.
So for this show, I thought of the what if scenario of what if money wasn't an option. And you're not doing anything illegal, so you're not like blowing shit up or something like that.
Right.
But what would you do? Not like what should you do. What would you want to do if money wasn't a factor? You're just like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I want this done. I want this done. And you don't have to worry about like, oh my God, I'm going to run out of money. Because you might say like, oh, what if you had $1 billion? You can run out of $1 billion.
Yeah, you can.
But if money wasn't an option, like I want to do this, what would you do?
Man. It's the husband and father in me is like, I got to fix the house up, make sure the kids get their college money, give my wife, like 10 Range Rovers and then, let's give everybody everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? My family and stuff like that. But that's the husband in me. Me by myself, I'll talk that instead. Shit, I'll be in Vegas probably. I'll be in Vegas at everybody's high roller table playing poker. I'll be throwing out hundreds of ones to these hookers. Oh man, I'll probably doing some devious stuff, man. Just because money's not an object. Because at some point you would have bought everything you wanted to buy.
Yeah.
At some point. So at that point, you got to go into that dark area.
Oh, what?
You got to start. What haven't I tried yet? Man. So I'd probably be desolate with the needles in my arm and a crack pipe in my mouth.
Is this some dark shit?
Because, like I said, after a while, I have bought every place. I have bought up enough property. I went to Dubai 3 or 4 times. I probably own half of Disney by now with the kids. You know what I mean? I've driven everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I've hooked up all of my people with cash, so we all doing it together. Mm-hmm. I mean, at that point, it's like, we did this already. What do we want to do now? Well, we haven't done crack yet. I'm like, all right.
No, that's why you need that side dude to be like, no, man, you can't be doing that. You always, when you're in a group of friends, you got that one dude who's all like, nah, man, we can't be doing that. You need him.
You know what's funny? That's usually me with Corey.
Yeah, it is. That's everybody with Corey.
Exactly. But yeah, I think I honestly think it would go dark because after a while, like, yo, I did everything 4 or 5 times over. I done bought everything. I got a boat. I don't even know how to ride it, but it's there. You know what I mean?
Just sitting in the harbor.
Yeah, man. I got all the big screen TVs I want. I got my mansion in there. I got all the jewelry I want, all the gold fronts, all the Timberlands I want. I own like a bunch of sports teams already. Mm-hmm. I'm set forever at this point. Like I said, the only place to go is dark. That's the only place to go, man.
And you went there quick too.
Everything,
and then go dark. Like, whoa. Well, see, when I was thinking about this question, I was thinking like, all right, I could go dark, but let me actually like think and sit and think about this, and I really did. So what I started out with, of course, the basics of, I went to medical school and dropped out because I didn't want to. But they left me with a nice old price tag of $130,000 of debt plus interest. So there's that. My sister went to medical school too. She's a doctor right now. So the first and foremost, what I would do is I pay off all my debts, my sister's debts, and my mom's debts. Right, just all like debt free. Like you don't owe anybody a goddamn thing. Like nothing, nothing. Right.
That's smart.
So once I do that. Then I'll just start traveling. I'll just travel everywhere. And here's the thing: I'm not gonna go when I travel. I'm not gonna go to like 5-star hotels and just this pool and spa and all. No. when I travel, I want to go like, I don't want to go full native, but I want to experience where I'm going, kind of thing.
Right.
Like if I go to like Asia, I want to actually, go to the Asian market and, live in an actual like traditional house and things like that, immerse myself in the culture type of thing.
So you have a backpack on going through.
It's something like that, yeah. Right. Not actually have a backpack, I'd actually have my stuff somewhere, but I could, go around and experience things like that, just be immersed in it. Right. So I do all that, do all my traveling. Of course, if I had a place, I wouldn't have a huge mansion. I'd have like I'd have a 1-story, 4-bedroom house, something like that, something simple. Because I have a huge mansion, what the fuck am I going to do with it? Like, oh, let me go to this one room I never use. Like, no. If I do have my house, I guess I'll have like a home theater in it, like a theater seating kind of, so I can watch and do whatever I want to do there, sure. But it would just be somewhat of a simple, subdued house, not like a huge mansion. So once I have all my stuff taken care of, all their stuff taken care of, I'm thinking to myself like, all right, since money is not an option for me, what can I accomplish? So I said, I might get assassinated for these, but this is what I'm going to do, right? First, I'm going to go to the brightest minds in the world and say, listen, I want this planet running on 100% clean energy now. So I will tell them, you don't have to worry about funding. You don't have to worry about like, oh, I need to stay here. All that's taken care of. I want you to devote your entire rest of your life on clean energy, zero emissions. We're all in flying car. I want my goddamn flying car. I want it now. I would get them and say, go do. Well, what if we need? Just go. Just if ask for it, get it, go, kind of thing. And then I would again gather them back once they did that and say, all right, I want you to do 2 things after that. First, I need you to get us off this planet now. We need we need to go to Mars, and we need to see the stars. We need to find other planets like this. We need to expand. We need to leave, type of thing. This is how to not ensure our extinction. That we just need to go. Kind of like all sci-fi, like, oh, we have colonies here and there. I want to make that science fact.
Right.
To leave the planet. Second, I want you to fix world hunger. I want you to find a way to have something sustainable that everyone all over the world can eat, so we don't have to worry about being hungry. Because think about it. If you don't have to worry about being hungry, you can focus on a lot more of the things knowing that, oh my God, where's my meal going to come from that day? And hopefully those things you're focusing on is to make things better. Now, I know I'm being kind of Pollyanna right now, but I'm just thinking they're not hungry. I'm not thinking horrible things will happen if people aren't hungry. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, it makes sense, man. I mean, you're talking some righteous stuff. Meanwhile, I'm in the alley dead. Crack pipe burns and needles in the arm.
You're not dead. You're not dead. Oh, you know why you're not dead? Because after that, I'd make healthcare free for everyone.
Oh, well, shoot.
And by that, I mean, because the huge thing about healthcare is labor cost and price of pharmaceuticals, things like that. So I would go to every doctor or people aspiring to be a doctor and say, listen, I know you're just like, oh, I'm going on my med school debt. I got it. Don't worry about that. No debt. Then, oh, man, I work like 36 hours straight shifts. I want to be able. Don't worry about that. You will want for nothing. The house that you want. Now, I'm going to tell them to be reasonable. It's not like I have to have an 18-room mansion. Fuck you. No, you don't. So I'm going to tell them your wife and kids are going to be taken care of. Any school, the good school you want to go to, fine. Whatever. I need you to focus on the patients. And then a lot of doctors are talking about like, oh, man, all this paperwork I have to take care of. I would get the best project designers and things to have it in a way where doctors are focusing on actually treating patients, and then we have actually someone to do the paperwork and the billing and all other stuff, which they would need to, considering all the healthcare is taken care of gratis, kind of thing. So I'd have all that taken care of. All the research and development of drugs, because the reason why drugs cost so much because it takes like billions of dollars to get them to where they are so they can work. Don't worry about that. Everything's paid for because money is not an option for me. So I need you to do all the best research. You group of medicine scientists, I need you to do the best research you can do so you can make these wonder drugs so we can make healthcare, roll. Now, is that going to make us all immortal? No, we have our limitations, but we're going to make things as smooth as we possibly can be, kind of thing. Because if we're not hungry and we're doing the best we can, because I don't think, because people are talking like, oh man, people are going to take advantage of the system. Do you like being sick?
Not at all. Nobody likes being sick.
Do you think most people go out of the way to be sick just so they can be in a hospital?
No. People try to get out.
Exactly. People hate going to the hospital. They hate going because they have to wait. They hate because they're sick. They hate because they don't feel well. And they also hate that they're going to be broke when they leave.
Yep.
So if they never had to worry about that, people would focus more on like, okay, I don't want to go to the hospital. Even if I do, it won't kill me, and I'll get the help that I need, type of thing. You know. So I try to do that. Yeah. Now, I want to go off of what you said before, where you said you buy like half a Disney and do all that.
Yeah.
What I would do is I'd start or buy a major production studio. I'd buy a production studio first, and then I'd buy an actual distribution studio. And I would have one motto. My one motto in my production company studio is no sequels.
Wow. In
that, if you have a kick-ass script, a mind-blowing story, you better get it across in one movie.
Really? You're not a sequel guy, huh?
No, it's not that I'm not a sequel guy. If the story allows it, sequels are great. But you see right now, look at all these sequels that we have. Are they really, really adding something to the story? It's more because every time you have to go sell a script in Hollywood, it's like, all right, I have this great idea and this and this and this. And then they say, and then what? Yeah. So then after they say, and then we're like, oh, well, this comes out of nowhere. Yeah, and this. And they're just, they bloat it and make sequels because they need to make money out of it because they want a franchise and all this other stuff. If money is not an option for me, I can make a huge grand opus. It could bomb, but I don't care.
Yeah. Well, some sequels are good. Some sequels are good.
Some sequels are good. So what I was thinking I would do is, my studio would make it. I would have to approve it. Be like, okay, this is a great story, beginning, middle, and end. I would do this, and then what I would do is, if another studio wants to make a sequel to it, great. Let them go make a sequel to it. Now, Business Ugo would say I would get like 50% of the gross on whatever they're doing, and they keep the other 50% since it's so popular. But since I don't need money, I don't care.
Right.
So like you can make your original story here, and the thing is, what I'm banking on a majority of the time, that sequel's probably gonna suck.
Right.
So when people think about, oh yeah, I love that movie, yeah, but the rest of them sucked. Well, I didn't make those. So
you had to put Ugo production on that one, and they couldn't do that on the other one.
Ugo Productions on Ugo Studio, distributed by Ugo. Only this one, kind of thing.
Exactly. Gotta let people know.
Exactly. It was kind of like Disney knows, like Disney right now saying we didn't make those prequels. That's on Fox. That's not on us.
Damn, you see Disney presents, not no Fox presents.
Exactly. So I would definitely do that, and just like movies that will never get made, kind of thing. Like what I was thinking right now is I think we might start to get there. You know how the Black Panther trailer came out?
Oh yeah.
Lost their minds and things like that. Are you watching American Gods?
Yes, I am. As confusing as that goddamn show is, I'm watching it.
It's one of those shows where you watch it and you got to go on Wikipedia to figure out who this and who that is. Right?
Exactly.
When they brought up Bilquist and Anansi, which in that third second episode, actually, when they're on the slave ship, they're actually speaking, my mother tongue, Igbo. They're actually speaking that. I gave the audio to my mom to I already knew what they were saying. Yeah. I gave the audio to my mom to translate, and she was translating. I was like, yeah, the actual subtitle translation wasn't that good, but they got it close enough.
That's awesome.
But, yeah, so anyway, everyone's like, oh, this North mythology and knights and kingdoms and all this other stuff. Like, there's a rich mythology in Africa. Mm-hmm. And everyone's all about, oh, we got to build franchises. Like, there's so many franchises you could build off African mythology.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, and the whole myth was like, oh, well, it's a black cast, the world won't buy it. That's bullshit now. We've all seen that's bullshit.
Yeah.
So if we could find a studio that would put money into getting a cast and also building off the old mythology and all the... There's some crazy... Every time... Like I told you before, I'm first generation Nigerian. So there would be some times where my mom would tell me some type of proverb. It would make no goddamn sense. It would be some weird proverb. It would be like, when the eagle sets on the bird, the mouse runs the cheese. I'm like, what does that even mean?
They don't know either. It's like saying it.
It's like, what does that even mean? But apparently, there's some story behind it, and there's like some type of fable. And I think that if you were to get engrossed in the world, and they have like the Harry Potter franchise, the Marvel universe, all those things, you could have that in like a mythology set in Africa type of thing. You easily could do that.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
I'd love to be a studio that would full-heartedly be like, yeah, we're doing this, we're going full bore kind of thing, Yeah. I would love to do that, and that would just be awesome for me.
At that point, you'd be making your own genre. At that point,
pretty much.
That'd be amazing.
Pretty much, and it would be great, and just all of it.
Be like, so Tyler Perry to fuck you, Tyler Perry. This is how we do it.
What I would do is like I'd not hire Tyler Perry, but I'd bring him for internships. Like, this is how you do things, Tyler. Listen, I understand what you're doing. Look, because I go to Tyler. Like, Tyler, I respect your hustle.
Yep.
I respect your business acumen. That is, bar none. But man, you creatively, you are a hack.
He is. I mean, I don't mean to go off on a tangent, but everything that he does is executive produced, written by, directed by, thought of, not thought of. You know what I mean? Everything is about this dude. I'm like, sheesh.
I'd be fine with that if it was good.
Yeah, that's the problem with him, man. He needs to, let people take the reins on certain things. He doesn't have to have his hand on everything.
Like, some of the best Tyler Perry stuff is when he's just acting and no one's telling him, and he's not directing. Some of his best stuff, when he was the commander in Star Trek, when he was the lawyer in Gone Girl. Like, wow, this man is really good if he wants to be. And then he'll do some bullshit like Boo Madea Halloween. You're like, God damn it, Tyler. I thought we learned about this.
Go back to the buffoonery. It's easy.
I thought we were growing, Tyler. Because pretty much Tyler Perry has made Atlanta Hollywood East. He's building a huge studio, MacArthur Park in Atlanta, and it's just, he's making it just huge. And I'm grateful for it because he's giving a lot of jobs to minorities and black people, and it's great. But can you make something that's good?
Yeah.
We don't need another Meet the Browns too. We don't.
No, we don't. Man. The most powerful image I think we could see is Tyler Perry presents a Spike Lee joint. That would be powerful. I
don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
That would be powerful. It would be powerful.
I mean, is it Spike Lee pre or post, like, Do the Right Thing? Because
it went down. Yeah.
It kind of went down. He had a blip with Inside Man, but after it just all of it was.
Yeah, he got kind of full of himself at some point. But I mean, if they both, it would be cool if they could both get together and really like put their heads together, put something between Tyler Perry's goofiness and Spike Lee's just vision about certain things and how strong.
Message and things like that.
Message. That would be kind of cool to get both of them together.
Because the thing is, like, man, I don't. But because the thing is, Spike Lee's message, like, okay, Spike, you got some good messages, but I don't like a sledgehammer to my head for about an hour and a half. That's not. Come on, Spike. You don't need to stop to look at the screen and to spout about how everyone is evil and fuck Whitey. And I get it, Spike. Through storytelling, you can make this much better, can't you?
Which is why it would be kind of cool because you got Spike Lee, who's the hot water, and then you got Tyler Perry, who's the cold water. They both get together, make something nice and warm together. You know what I mean?
I hope maybe a Lee, but you know why that wouldn't happen? Because they'd both be fighting about whose name should be above the title, though.
Exactly. Well, Tyler Perry got to go first, man, because he has the means to get it done.
True. I mean, I don't know if Spike will allow that. Spike might walk away, but no, I gotta have my name. It gotta be a Lee Perry joint. No, it's gotta be a Perry Lee joint.
Exactly, which is why this won't happen. It's fairy tale land. Well, I'll never say never, but
yeah.
I don't really see that happening in the near future.
Yeah. And then before you talked about you own sports teams, I would just own one NFL team, just one because it's like that's one of those competition things. Because if I own a lot of them, it's kind of like, okay, if that wins, fine, whatever. I like to own one, and to stop that, I'd be like Jim Irsay and micromanage.
Right.
But I'd like to be like, I'm going to hire the right people. I think I'd hire the right people, and then just see the fruits of their labor kind of thing, and be like, that's my team kind of thing.
I mean, it'd be my thing. Like I just want to have, I don't even want to have a majority share. I want to have close to a majority share, so I just get free tickets and go watch it. That's all I want to do, man, and sit back and collect. And I'm big on, to go back. I'm just big on sitting back and collecting money. So I'm big on this.
I think everyone's big on that. I'm trying to find things where I can do that. Just watch it.
And in context of having money, just invest in things that's already running. Just put money in that, but sit back and do nothing. My job is to go to the mailbox. That's my job.
Gotta put on these goddamn slippers.
That's the job I want. Go to the mailbox and open up mail, get paper cuts. That's what I'd rather do.
Pretty much, yeah. And not just an NFL team. I was thinking I wanted to own like an esports team.
Oh, okay.
because esports is really blowing up right now, and I think like in the next like 15 years, it could be like, you know, in Korea, they're filling up arenas and shit for like Star Fox and things like that. Now, is it going to be filling up arenas here in the U.S.? I'm not going to say no, but I think it could get really a lot more popular because, you know, the gaming industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Like there's so much money in that, and if you could find like there's already Madden tournaments, and they're doing like League of Legends. Did you hear about this whole Overwatch thing where they're talking about like it's like I think it was like a $500,000 buy-in or some shit like that for like some Overwatch league, which was some straight up bullshit. But
I heard them trying to put something together. Yeah. Between that,
there's money. You can see there's money there.
Yeah, so, definitely. Between that and all those Street Fighter tournaments and fighting game tournaments they have there, you know, there's something there. They just need to figure out how to make it accessible and entertaining for everybody. Just watching two guys on the big screen, you know, moving little cartoon characters around. I don't know. They got to figure something else.
I mean, they'll figure it. They'll make it work. It's like something. I mean, because for the longest time, there's sports that we love now that we wouldn't think to be spectator sports. For example, NASCAR. You know, like not for me per se to see all these cars only make left turns, but it's a huge following. They get sponsorship, things like that, and you know, if you find something that people like and it's a good product, they'll be willing to pay for it.
It's true. You gotta find your niche, right, and try to cultivate that niche that you have. Much like that crazy spill. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Now we have a Corey Coleman empire. He's running around.
Exactly. I'm buying him and run him into the ground.
And then last but not least, I would just do a lot of philanthropy. Like I know money's not an object, so I'll just do good things and just go around and just do stuff. Like I don't know, like it's just I would like to leave this place. Because my whole thing is that unfortunately I'm kind of glib in that I feel I kind of don't believe. I don't know how to say this. I don't have the most faith in humanity. I feel that when push comes to shove, we kind of do the most inherently selfish thing.
Of course, you get primal.
Yeah, we get primal. So I would like to at least try to set an example of, you know, do the best we possibly can, because yes, we do get selfish, but when we actually come together and do stuff, the things we can achieve kind of thing, you know? There was a point, I was talking to one of my other shows, there was a point where, you listen to one of my other podcasts, it was during February, during Black History Month,
right?
And the podcast was, what if JFK, RFK, Martin Luther King, and Malcolm X never got assassinated?
Yeah.
I was reading up that JFK was in talks with, I believe it was not I think Khrushchev or somebody like that, the USSR leader, to have a joint venture to go to the moon.
Wow.
Could you imagine two just enemies during the Cold War coming together, going to the moon, do space exploration? Mm-hmm. If we were able to do that, we'd be going to Saturn by now.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy.
We really would. Mm-hmm. Just to put differences aside, to come together and just achieve certain things because we have a common goal type of thing. And I mean, is it hard? Absolutely. Mm-hmm. You got to get past all the bullshit, but it's doable. We can do it type of thing. The human capacity is just so deep, and that's another reason why I had here just exploration. Like, we got to get off this planet. We got to be like cockroaches and just spread everywhere. Yep. You know,
it's
we just
true, man. To survive, we got to
something we got to do, and that's just something I feel. So that's some of the things I just wrote down. I felt that I would do if money was not an object type of thing. I mean, because I'm not a big flashy person. I mean, you know, like it's just I never understood. It's weird because I'm Nigerian, and Nigerians are like one of the flashiest people ever when they do shit. But even people are in Houston when they go to parties and things like that, they're really flashy. But me and my sister, we look at them, we're like, I don't get it, I don't understand it. So when it comes to us, like modestly, if we're taken care of, everything else is just like, you know, meh, kind of thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, to put all joking aside, everything that you touched upon is definitely things that I would try to get done. It's just money's no object, you know. There would no need to be selfish and do all that craziness.
True.
You know what I mean?
True. And again, there's nothing wrong with you going to Vegas, but there's nothing wrong.
Oh yeah, that's part of it. I'll definitely be doing some of that. Don't get me wrong. That'll be on the weekends, but during the week, you know what I mean? I have my suit on and doing the right thing.
It's all business.
Exactly.
You work hard to play hard. Yeah.
Yeah. You work hard, play harder. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So. Just some of the things I thought about. I thought I could think of some more stuff, but you know, anything else come to mind when you think of it, or?
Yeah, no, I mean, you hit a lot of it on the head as far as just trying to advance where we are scientifically. You would hope that through that science you could find some, it will lead its way towards people having more humanity towards each other, and just trying to unite people by doing these things to help everybody. Once you get a common cause with everyone, people tend to get together to try to make that cause happen. So people are saying we need to have some sort of near Earth death experience to kind of get everybody together to shake people up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like this is one of the things, like, you wish we'd have like some type of Independence Day alien tax, so we'd all come together.
Yeah, but even that would be short lived, because there'll always be an asshole, man.
There's always that one nigga.
Always be an asshole.
There's always that one dude. Be like,
man,
let's do this. Like, nah, man, come on.
And then that one dude will influence another dude and another dude. You know what I mean? So the peace will only be around for such a long period, such a short period of time, because there's only that one person in the back. Look at this motherfucker shining. I want to shine, and that's all it takes, man.
That one petty ass motherfucker. Like,
man.
We've transcended to a new consciousness. You sit here being petty.
Who was that? Cain or Abel? I forgot which one who did him in, but always gonna have one of them dudes plotting. You shine too hard, son. You gotta cut that out. And
he's like, but like, you can shine with me. You can literally shine with me. Nah, I want all the shine.
Exactly. Nah, I want all your shine. Hey, listen. That mentality, man. Unfortunately, is that mentality. But we'd have a short period of prosperity for a little bit.
Yeah, we would. Imagine what we could achieve in that short period. Who knows?
That would be amazing. Hopefully, I'm around for some of it. But we'll see. And that's another thing. That's another good question too. Do you think we'll be around for when the aliens come through, or if we go to another planet? We'll be around. Will that be in our lifetime? An alien visit?
Okay, lifetime would probably mean the next 40 years, right?
Yeah,
probably the next 40. So that would be 2060.
Yeah,
around 20. Man, I don't.
Will we make it to Mars? Will we even make it to Mars by then?
Okay,
or will we visit by then?
By 2060, we're definitely on Mars. Fuck that noise.
Okay.
By 2060, but honestly, by 2030, we should be on Mars.
Okay.
But
colonized, or just somebody's there and they're figuring it out?
Oh, we're there figuring it out.
Yeah, I think they'll be there figuring it out. I don't know. I don't know full colonization just yet. I think they'll be out there figuring it out.
If you didn't hate Nixon enough.
Right.
He's the one that killed. He's the one that killed like NASA.
Yeah.
Like in the '60s and the '70s, like, NASA's not sexy anymore. Let's cut all their funding. And you're like, and there was one of the ones like, all right, we're building rockets. We're trying to get to the moon. All right, let's try to get to Mars. And they're like, okay, we got to cut funding. What's cheaper, a rocket that we have to dispose of, or a reusable space shuttle? So they did the reusable space shuttle, and we just went into orbit for like 30 years.
Yeah, that's all this going around.
And you're just like, God damn it, no, we need to get to Mars. So it's just like, I don't know. The next 3 years, I don't know what's going to happen to NASA. What I've heard is that Agent Orange, he said he likes NASA, and he says he wants them to do stuff, but I don't know if he knows that they need money to do stuff. So,
man, listen, he's just talking to make people be quiet. I don't believe anything this dude says.
I don't either, but we need to get off this planet, Oz. We need to
get up out of here. We need to get up out of here.
We need to get up out of here, man. We just do.
Yeah.
Like, science, man. There's so many people that are inspired by science fiction and things we can do and all this other stuff. It's just like, just for our own survival. Like, it's honestly, you've heard of the saying, "Don't put all your eggs in one basket," right?
Right.
Earth is one basket.
Yeah, we are in that basket that they're talking about.
That basket they're talking about. We're one cataclysmic event from being nothing.
That is crazy. Nothing lasts forever, man. This Earth will perish. That sun will supernova.
Pretty much, yes. So we need to find other suns in other places, and we found we found other planets that are like comparable to Earth. So now the nearest one's like 2 light years away or something like that. But we gotta start. We gotta start going, man. We gotta start now. We gotta get over there. We gotta spread out, and not just that. Like, we gotta find. I feel it is a sheer impossibility we're the only intelligent life here. No, there are other cool things out there, and imagine the things we can learn from them, and things they can learn from us. And the minute we meet intelligent life, They're going to be like, oh, you guys do this? Well, if you just turn it this way, you can do this. And we're going to be like, what? It's just going to blow our mind.
Yeah, mind blown.
It's just going to change everything.
Well,
kind of thing.
Well, it depends. If we get to them, we're going to be teaching them stuff. If they get to us, they're going to be teaching us a whole lot. You know what I mean?
That's when Stephen Hawking was saying that shit. He was all like, and he made a very valid point, and I hate that he's probably right, but he's like, when have you ever seen a dominant civilization go to a less dominant civilization and end well? And I'm like, ooh. Yeah.
When you see that, when you see that bug crawl across your floor, what's the first thing you do?
Yeah. So when he says, like, people are like, oh, I want to see aliens. I want aliens to visit Earth. If they visit, they're not here to say hi.
Yeah.
They're here to say, give me your shit. It's kind of what it is. It's like, he probably makes a point, but clearly they're smarter than us and more transcendent and kinder. I don't
think that's in the conversation. Kinda. You just hope they take pity on some of us and be like, all right, and try to learn and take us in as pets or something. I don't know.
Yes, it's kind of like with Star Trek, where like the Vulcans, they knew of Earth. They said like, we're not going to talk to them, or we're not going to bother them until they discover warp drive. And then once they discover warp drive, they're like, oh yeah, come on, you're advanced enough. Come on, come chill with us, and we'll teach you all this cool shit. And that's how we got the Federation.
Yeah, man, the Earth is the retarded stepchild, I guess. Yeah, leave those guys alone. Let them figure it out themselves.
That's one of the most hilarious things. I remember. I'm just going all over the place, but I remember I think in Men in Black, the Men in Black cartoon. I remember that Zed said, we can't show, like, I think Earth had some, like, the Men in Black had technology from aliens kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And I think there was something that was supposed to be like a satellite or something that was supposed to do something to Earth. Yeah. And he said, we can't let this do something to Earth, because if this thing goes online, the other planets in the universe will see that Earth has this advanced technology, and we are, like, we're now open season on us. Because right now, Earth is like a national reserve. we're like a national park kind of thing. We're like, oh, they're too stupid to do anything. We can't attack them. Like the other advanced planets have made a pact saying, don't attack Earth. They're too stupid. They can't defend themselves. Right. So the minute this thing goes online, they're like, oh, they can defend themselves, and we're just fair game. So it was a huge episode kind of thing. And I'm just thinking to myself, like,
that is interesting.
And I'm like, I'm glad that we're not being attacked, but I feel kind of insulted that we're too stupid.
We're the pets of the universe, man. I take it.
Yeah, I guess we'll take it. Sure. Yeah, whatever doesn't get us annihilated or enslaved. Sure.
Exactly. The mess, man. But yeah, man, that'd be something to think about, man. That'd be something to think about. But so I don't know if I want to be here for any of that. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried about, like, okay, phones are getting smaller, information is getting sent faster. Yep. I don't know if I'm going to be around. I probably will be around, but I'm going to be that old craggly motherfucker like, oh, Grandpa, why don't you just put your cell phone in your head so you can talk with what's in your brain? No, Timmy. Fuck you. I'm not doing that.
I'm going to get cancer.
No, like, I don't care. It's like, oh, no, Dad, doesn't do cancer. Like, I'm not putting something, unless I need it to live, I'm not putting something in my body so I can, like, play games and talk to you and go on faith. No, I'm not doing that. No.
That is the next evolution, man. Putting like chips in.
The only extra holes I need in my body are the ones that help me survive. That's it.
That's it. But it's going that way, though, man. These chips getting implanted and all this foolishness. And
I don't know.
We'll see, man. We'll see.
So, Oz, any closing thoughts right before we wrap everything up?
Oh, man, closing thoughts. I hope I'm around, and I hope I'm not around, because I don't want to see no damn aliens. But I would like to be around when people actually figured out that sixth sense of theirs and start flying. That'll be awesome.
Oh,
if they telekinesis going, that'll be nice.
We start getting X-Men around. You want to see that?
That'd be amazing.
Oh man.
On my deathbed, I like to see it. I don't want to hang around for
it. True. So, Oz, how can the good people of this podcast, how can we reach you, man?
Oh, my goodness, the good people of this podcast. Well, thank you so much for having me. If you want to reach me,
it's an honor.
You can check me out on Facebook, Oz What Up, on Facebook. And if you want to email me, that's fine, too. OzWhatUp@gmail.com. You can find me also on Double Toasted on Mondays. What Up Son with Corey, myself, and Danielle.
Oh, Danielle back in the game? She's finally back?
Yeah, back in the game on our show with us. Where we talk about Foolishness around the world. We got a segment called The Foolish Five, where we gather up 5 things foolish in the news, and we kind of talk about it, explain about it, laugh about it. You know, it's cool.
It's a great segment, guys. Everyone should check it out. It really is a great segment. You on that Twitter, Instagram, and all that stuff, Oz, or no?
Oz went up on Facebook and Instagram. Twitter, not so much. I gotta get back on there. But, you know, between Facebook and Instagram seem to be the same thing to me. And Snapchat, I'm old, man. I don't know.
All your kids with your Snap face and your Twitch chats. I don't know what you're doing.
With your MySpace.
With your MySpace, just on the Timberlakes. I don't know. But yeah, if you want to reach the What If podcast, if you want to send in questions, what if scenarios, if you want Oz to come back, if you want to tell me I'm a fucking idiot, if you want to step up to Oz or whatever, that's fine. But if you want to do that, you can reach us on YouTube. You can. This is going to be on YouTube, so you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can like the YouTube channel, and please leave as many comments as you can. I don't care what they are; they can be whatever they are, as long as you leave comments. That doesn't care to me. We are on SoundCloud. If you go on SoundCloud, you go to soundcloud.com/thewhatifcast. You can email us. You can email us at thewhatifcast@gmail.com. I am on Twitter, so if email's too formal for you, you only want to use 160 characters, you go to @the_whatifcast. I am also on Instagram. I don't have any pictures up because I don't know what I would post, but sure, you can add What If Podcast on Instagram. And finally, on Facebook, if you search What If Podcast, you'll see a black bald dude pointing at a purple What If Podcast sign. You like the page, write messages, do whatever you want, and send me what you can. But once again, like I said before, thank you so much, Oz, for coming on the show. It's great. I love this conversation. Every time people come on, they love it, and they always want to come back. And I'd love to have you back sometime soon.
Awesome. Anytime, brother. The honor was mine. Thank you so much, Hugo. You keep doing your thing, man. This was dope.
All right. And with that, I'd like to say goodbye, and thanks for coming to the What If Podcast. I will see everybody later.
Take care, guys.